Hey everybody, welcome. It is another week here of Kaldheim. We have been having an extra focus on Sealed this week because of the upcoming MTGArena Open this coming weekend, the 20th and the 21st of February. And that's a day one. You can take as many shots at the qualifier event as you want, and then if you qualify for day two, you get to play for big prizes on day two. I'm totally into it. It's probably not a good bargain as far as EV. It doesn't even really matter to me. I want aspirational limited play. I want a day one and a day two in a limited event. I think that's cool, and I want to let Wizards know. So I'm going to give them my gems to show them that, yeah, this is how they can, I pile up a lot of gems on these accounts, and Wizards wants to know how to get these gems from me because I'm not spending them on bling. I'm not spending them on, I'm going northward in my gems, even though I'm free to play because I'm getting things like token entries and taking advantage of discounts and reporting bugs and all that stuff. And really, more aspirational play opportunities that are super expensive to my gems. That's how to bleed me dry, Wizards, because I am going to pay for the experience. You have to understand when you make these transactions for fake digital currency, for real currency, whatever it is, understand what the parameters of your transaction are, what you're buying and what you're getting. And I am willing to pay a premium for the feeling that I am in something bigger than just my average, everyday, traditional Kaldheim draft. So I'm going to vote with my digital wallet that way at least, and let Wizards know that that's what I want from them. If you want to vote for this stream when you're buying physical stuff, though, you're going to go to my sponsor, CardKingdom.com, because when you go via my affiliate link and shop with them, then you let them know you got there from here, and that helps keep me on the air because they know that this message is working. And I know I say it every day, and a lot of you hear it again and again, and I thank you for sticking with me through similar messaging. But somebody's first day here, right? Was it Paul? Although I'm sure Paul probably skips this message on YouTube, right, Paul? Admit it. You YouTubers are skipping this right now. But don't skip out on the deals at CardKingdom.com. They're great. Thank you so much, Card Kingdom, for all your support. We get a token entry today. That's cool. I got this from buying the token at the store. There was a store deal on tokens half price. So this is basically a half price draft today. I'm on to you, YouTube skippers. I'm going to start talking to YouTube at the draft point. Table ready. One seat left to be clicked. Welcome to you too, T-Doc, by the way, or T-Dot. Glad you're here. Well, someone let us down. Second try. There we go. Oh, come on now. This is going to be all day. We just sit here watching us get to 7 of 8 and then fail. Hey, there we go. Welcome, YouTube friends. We were just talking about you and how you all skip my sweet, sweet daily pitches for my sponsor, CardKingdom.com. You should check them out via my affiliate link in those YouTube notes. It really helps me stay on the air. This pack is not great. This is like an Ice Tunnel pick, right? I like a Sultai Snow Duel. Or, yeah, struggle is real for sure, Tim Nose. Bound in gold is justifiable given the complete lack of other white. You know, you could take bound in gold and know we're fully cutting white, which is somewhat of an underdrafted color anyway, and so it could be a nice signal to set up. But Ice Tunnel, I do think, is just setting up for the best. Is the best. This is the best card in the pack to start with, I think. But that, yeah, it is a power move. I'm with Norbert. I think this is the highest EV, but this is an interesting idea. We'll see if that would have paid off. Maybe white will be the hookup, but I do like an Ice Tunnel here. And now feed the Serpent over a Sinkhole, perhaps. Yeah, wheeling the Black Priest is the goal there. And to that end, we could take another Snow Duel. It's Snow Duel or feed, right? This sends a really strong signal to anybody paying attention downstream. Mistwalker surely can be included in the discussion. I just feel like I would put feed over Mistwalker here, so I didn't really bring up Mistwalker, but this is pretty darn good. Yeah, and if this were not... the white Snow Duels are the least important, but I think we go back to the feed. Yeah, I'm just going to go old school and take the solid removal spell here. We could take a Snow Basic in the forest, or take the Winter and try to wheel the basics. The basics don't tend to wheel, though, and it does, again, sends a strong signal. It's like it's crazy, but it's like the best card here. I mean, Shieldmate, fine, 2-drop for white, you can run that. Berserker, fine, 2-drop for black, you can run that. Pick, decent artifact making, or treasure making equip, but there's just, yeah, it's like Sculptor is like the best card here, but I'm gonna go with the current conventional wisdom of taking the lands first when looking for avenues into snow. Another good snow land in terms of being blue, but we also have actually good picks here too in terms of the Draugr's Helm and the Augury Raven. These are both quality picks. And there's some medium stuff as well. Cavalry is good in red. Veil, fine. Way Down, fine. Yeah, this is where I think some generically spell is going to be better for us. If this were a Snow tap duel, a Sultai tap duel, we would take it, but I think we can pass this. And I also agree that Helm is a more impactful card than Raven overall, although I like the Raven a lot. All right, so now we see that Snowland, first Snowland missing, worth noting. But I think we just take Struggle here. It was the other consideration for pack one, pick one anyway, or one of the considerations. You like the Troll now? I don't know if we are Snow yet. I mean, we're trying to get there. But I'm going to take Struggle as being good in all green decks. But I feel you on the Troll too. Elder Hall. Removal land is good, and not much else here. Demonic Gifts have come up on, as I was talking about yesterday, but I think Elder Hall's fine here. And also I found black-green elves to be, a good fallback deck when you don't end up, when you try to be Snow and fail. So there's that. Faithful is pretty medium, but is a 3-drop. And we don't have a low curve yet. The Kennel Master is like a better card. Arnie Slays the Troll, I suppose we could take on spec. I don't think we're going to be playing red, but it's true that these are pretty medium for what we're doing. If we do end up Snow, you end up with a lot of capabilities to produce other colors, though. I'm going to put it in the board for now, but you're right, we can spec there. I do love being base green because of its general splashiness. I have a deck on another account right now that's like base green. It's got this base green black, but and I throughout the draft I had all this ability to pivot to any splash I wanted, like maybe an Ascent here over the Veil. Yeah, Elf Payoff was the other possibility there. I don't want Bind. I guess we might take Bind. Yeah, Ascent's not very good. It's kind of just almost a vault pick, but I don't, what do we, I'm going to take the Veil. It just feels early to take the Veil, but I don't mind one of these, so I'll take it. That's what I was just trying to find something other to take than a card that I wasn't super happy with, but that's good enough. But here you go. Here's another Veil. Makes me, whatever. Pretty far away from the giant deck. Yeah, we could take Gems, but Hawk is at least a possible playable here. Or the giant. These are, I don't think we're playing this. And it's only pack 1. I suppose Cavalry still being here is something we should consider, given that Arnie's also was there. So this could be a splash black type deck. Skull Cairn or Seas. Yeah, Seas can do something. I don't know. This is all pretty garbagey. I don't want more tricks. I mean, you just take a base. Yeah, Recluse, probably fine. You just want something a little better, but I have said I actually do prefer these high power, low toughness reach creatures in green because they're more main deckable, because if they don't have flyers, at least you're cracking for 4. Yeah, I guess wings, there's nothing else here for us. We did not get on board the white train, and this is unplayable, and we're never playing that, even if we end up a little bit blue. Cavalry for more spec towards that. I think Cavalry is enough better than Mists that we go ahead and take the Cavalry on the possible base red-green here. I'm with you, Gimp. This has not been a very friendly pack. We could take... Yeah, either of these are justifiably playable, but I'm going to go with Vault Progress here. Craven Hulk. So I think we're probably green-red. The table seems to be saying red, red. So, yeah, exactly. Run Ashore is totally good and playable. It just doesn't feel like the table's telling us to be blue, so I just took Vault Progress. This is a really lousy pack to open after realizing that the table's telling you to be Gruul, let me tell you. Do you get what I'm saying, Fenner? I just don't think we're blue. You like the Glittering Frost? Well, we could take Mentor. And yeah, if we're taking Frost, maybe just the Falls. And then we get easy ability to splash the blue. I mean, I guess that does that too. But yeah, see, I'm kind of with Fantasia. You like the rare on the possible splash of that? Yeah, I guess we could, let's take the rare on the possible splash. I'm even going to put it in the board right now. It's just the opportunity cost for taking that rare was so low. I don't think we're going to play it, but nothing in that pack was super important. And we have another opportunity in an Elder Hall, but it takes the double black. Probably just want Gladewalker here, or Run Amok, or Frenzied Raider if we think we're going to get any kind of boasting going on. Like, we don't have boasting yet, but this is... Red has a lot of boast going, and there's just a little bit... Just only the Land Searcher in green, though. So this is not really a boast color pair, but the red alone might produce enough boast to make it worth it. Yeah, that's fair. If you cut our... like, red is the only thing we know for sure. I'm with you on that. Maybe I need to just be super open here to what the table wants of us. We got an Icebind Pillar. Yeah, I mean, well, the incredible blue in pack 2 is not surprising here, gang. The reason we're not in blue is there was no blue in pack 1, really. You know, there was some places here or there you could make an argument, but of course it's flowing now because we weren't there. Or yeah, the like somebody to our right is hoping to get this hookup now, right? Yeah, I think we'll take. With the ice tunnel, I don't know where this draft is going, though. Taking random possible splashes, seeing what happens. Speaking of, maybe I'm just supposed to take Sculptor here and move towards good stuff? You like Narfi? I suppose if we're moving towards good stuff, we just take the good stuff. Yeah, I guess we can't pass this, but this is starting to train wreck. We need some stuff to to get out of this. Well, are we playing red? Like what? Well, what in red is keeping us there? Depth and the fact that all of this red came after the wheel, right? The fact that except for the Raider, literally all the red came after like pick 7. So it's just it's about hearing the table more so than feeling like we have quality in our pile right now. Well, what did you take, Norbert? I'm with you. I'm a little chaotic here. I'm about to get randomized here, though. We're kind of being snowy, so I'll take the Valkyrie. Jarl is okay, but if we're gonna play black, it's because we're back into the snow game. So I don't mind prioritizing the snow there a little bit. We could take this, except it's red white. Like this is the worst snow duel for us. Yeah, it does help splash the Redain, I suppose. Again, I just feel all over the place here, but this still feels better than the options I was looking at. And now I like a Sculptor to try and bail us out. And maybe need a Snow Mountain here for Sculptor interaction. A Masked Vandal is also appealing, of course. But Gimp likes the Vandal, some other like the Snow. We're in pack 2. I'm going to take the Snow Mountain in a close call. More temptations to try to increase our snow. I don't think we're snowy enough for the 3 seasons, though. This is just a boring old mentor pick. Playable and boring. If we can upgrade and not play this, great. Wither Crown also similar. Wither Crown is the creature version of the mentor in terms of like, yeah, we can look at curve view. I guess a Snow Plains here might actually make the cut if we are looking to splash for this White God. And what are we taking if not? Run Amok. I mean, if we do end up more aggressive red, we'll wish we want that Run Amok. But I don't feel like we can get a cohesive aggro deck at this point. We're going to have to be nonsense. So given that we're going to have to be nonsense, I'll take the Snow Plains in case we're going to be white nonsense. Need playables is a stretch. We're at pack 2 here. I mean, Yeti might be better here, but Squash is removal. And we're going to at least splash red, I think. Maybe this is where I'm supposed to take Sentinel if we're doing all this splashing, except what am I tapping along with this? I guess if we go red-green base, we can play Cavalry. And I guess in a red-green base, we even play this Sanctum potentially. Really? I just don't see Revenge. I just never want to play that card. Are you playing Revenge? Huh. I've never played it. Maybe I need to come up on Revenge. Hey, well, this card seems to be following us a bit, and this is a deck for it. What are we missing? What are we wheeling? Would love this Demon Bolt, of course, but I'm going to take Dragon. Ooh, actually a good rare land for us, but can we afford to take it? We've got Horizon Seeker. Yeah, I guess we can. I mean, there's Tree Line that would help with the God Splash. And the Seeker is interesting also, but actually I think the land is what this deck needs. Yeah, but the Seeker would fix for something like I'm going to take the land. This does what Seeker is kind of hoping to do on some level, but without a spell slot. Squash. Are we gonna have enough giants for that? I don't know. What are our alternatives? Another Raider, if we're pretty sure we're gonna go green red base, although I'm not even sure that's for sure, but maybe. Yeah, splashable, but yeah, I don't think this is going to end up white. I think we want another squash because we're pretty low on interaction if we are red-green base. Rootless U, what does that get us? Nothing current. Oh, wait, maybe it does. I forget, this isn't 6 mana, it's 6 power or toughness. But we don't look like we have any of that. Is Pick going to make this deck? I know this chat likes Pick, but I only like Pick if it's going on cheap stuff. I guess we've got the Cavalry, and we are trying to. We got a lot of 2s in red, and on turn 3 you can cast and equip on a 2. And there's nothing else here, and the Rootless U doesn't get us anything, so I'm with you. We'll take the Pick. I'm going to let it time here. Verdict, Bound in Gold. Are we double splashing? What's our free white? We have the Alpine Meadow and a snow-covered plains that is searchable. How are we searching that, and why do we care? We don't really have fine basic land in the deck currently. Ouch, Gimps. Ouch. We already have a Wings. I'm never playing 2 if I'm playing the 1. Oh, you mean this Wings? Yeah, Broken Wings could be the pick here. That's fair. You want to seize? Well, don't we have one? We'll try and wheel that. See, this is not like. I guess a lot of that was wheelable. We'll take another Arnie. Try to lock in on red-green base here. More weak sauce. We could take a Scorn Effigy. Can at least foretell this and then pick it on. I don't think we want a Run Amok. I don't think we want a pick. Rune of Speed. This has become like my least favorite rune. Are we playing 2? I don't think we're playing 2 picks, but I hate this pack, so okay. Lindworm, I think, is a fine pick here. Just get some top end in our base color. Another Recluse if we want that. Here's the spoils we could grab. Spoils we could seize, you might say. Gifts. I don't think we're running gifts in this deck. Maybe Crown. Yeah, Wither Crown might be the card we need. I think I'm going to throw it in the board, though. This is best of 1, so it's not like we're Oh no, this is best of 3, so that does matter. Sorry. Yep, sideboarding matters, and that's so I'm glad we picked that up. I was thinking this was best of 1, but it's not. Got to get that straight. Mentor here, right? Take that. Yeah, Effigy, Fearless Pup. Are we ever playing Fearless Pup in this deck? I don't think so. Doesn't feel like a pup deck. I guess it's better if we play it. We'd rather have that than the effigy, though, right? So we'll do that. Iron Verdict. So white was pretty open in the end. Maybe I'll take Shackles. I don't know. Scald could splash. We're not gonna play white though. And the Run Amok comes back anyway. I don't think this is a Run Amok deck. You like the pup, Adam? It's just, I don't know. We're kind of a little torn between whether we're trying to be aggressive or controlling here is my issue. And are we even bothering with the blue? It kind of feels like we're not doing the blue and we're just going to jund them out. Not doing the blue or the white. You say don't play the black. Well, I'm playing the Predator. You can't get me off Predator. You can get me off Valkyrie and Feed. And Helm is also double black. So we could cut most of the black and be red-green Predator. This is something close. What is this to give us numbers-wise? 1410 isn't the worst. Yeah, I was gonna go down to one pick. That was the thing. This was gonna be like kind of where I landed. And if you want to, like, maybe we cut the C's. Like, now that we're just splashing for the Predator, I don't know if we need the C's. You do like this. Yeah, Elder Hall can go. That was when we thought we were heavier black. But I do like, didn't we get, oh, I thought we got another spell land, but apparently it was, I passed it. We have one giant. And I don't love these either, but you want to cut our removal? We didn't get it. We didn't get Demon Bolts. Like, you got to fill the jobs that your deck needs, and sometimes you don't get the applicants you were hoping for. No, we don't want the plains. I don't think we want Ice Tunnel. And a forest and a mountain at least gives the sculptor a snowball's chance in hell of untapping something. Well, because the late game upside requires double black, and when it requires double black, it feels, yeah, like maybe we get there. Sure, we're gonna play Goldmine pick and seize the spoils. So maybe we just get the double black to do that land. But oh, and I like this Sentinel. I don't like this Sentinel. Like, what are we doing? What is it doing for us? Helping? We're trying to like play cavalries on 2 to like ramp something. I don't know. Yeah, well, there's also, we're facing the train wreck here, which is to say it's easy to call out all these reasons to cut things, but then we got to finish the deck with something. So I'll cut all the stuff. Like, I think a lot of this stuff is pretty medium. I'm not cutting the squashes. I get it, but we just don't have that much removal. We have struggle 2 squashes. And so I think we need, we have Arnie's, I guess. That's fair. But these are not, I mean, that gives us 5, which I think is still just okay, right? Like 5 interaction spells isn't like, we haven't overfilled that position. Yeah, we could play a second pick and try to do more splashing, but I think we're going to be better off just trying to go hard. Yeah. Oh, so we do have this land. This is the one I was thinking about. This is the one I'm willing to. I thought we had this, and then, but it looks like I cut it. Yeah, we can totally run that one. That's the kind of utility land I'm willing to run here. Ice Tunnel and Blue God. Pretty strong, I guess. Kasima. But yeah, I really think if we're gonna go, if we're feeling light on playables, we should increase the black a little bit and just play the feed and the helm. We can talk about the Plains God. We do have Alpine Meadow and Snow-Covered Plains, although, again, we're not fetching anything, but if we would run a Plains, we at least, it's snow-covered for the Sculptor. And... boy, I don't know. The shield looks like it can be... I think this is best of 3. I think I like running the God when we know it's going to be good. What my issue with source damage prevention on sources is that it scales up so badly. Like, if we're facing a Lindworm, this ability becomes a lot less meaningful. But if we're playing against anything aggressive, it's got to be like the best card in our deck. So it feels like swingy to me. Maybe some of you who've played it more feel like, oh yeah, even against the green giants, even against the big stuff, Protector's Shield does enough work. But that's my concern. And it does have sneaky, like, no protection for people who don't read, right? No reader's protection on the second ability. People will just cast stuff into it. Well, my inclination is to focus on the black to fill out this deck and then have the white as a sideboard option. We could double splash, or we could focus on the white, although that's really the only way. Like, we could bring in Scald for getting back Arnie stuff. I'm kind of... So my curiosity with chat here is, do you want, as our main deck, should it be green, red, black, which is to say get more black in here and ignore the white, or green, red, white, in which we get rid of the dragon, or get rid of the predator and up our green and red count? We could make a green, red, white deck, or we can go green, red, black, white, and basically double splash. So I'm curious what you would do for your main deck here. I should have done other too, in case somebody has something else they want to do, but where would you head with this? I'll start with whatever chat wants to do. It's I don't know what's right, so I'll follow chat. Ooh, the 4-color barely edges out, just sticking with the black. Yeah, I agree with you. If we do that, we have to reconsider what we're running here. So we would cut the wings. If we're going to double splash, which it looks like we're doing, we need to play both picks and then cut the stuff that's not, and play the spoils and then cut less important stuff. We're at 15-8 here. Well, there you go. I mean, that does it. That would be a deck right there. So let's bring this up, and then we can look at red, black, or red, green, white, and black stuff to consider. I do like this little view. So there's that Sentinel. There's the Sentinel. Are we playing Sentinel in the case of a double splash? All right, maybe this is where I finally try that dumb card. What does that do? Is this a 16 lander with double pick and Sentinel back in the deck? Well, 2-drops just are good at their job of being 2-drops. Like, I don't think, like, suddenly you don't need 2-drops if we're not aggro. Oh, what's this arachnoform doing here? Is that accidental click? Oh yeah, from that from using that feature, I think. Oh, Shackles got snuck in there too. So did Broken Wings, which I think we can start on the board. There we go. How about this? Yeah, that I tried to use that feature that shows you what you're not playing, but it can accidentally add stuff if you're not if you're not paying attention. But I think this makes some sense. You like this? Fenrir likes the one run amok. I guess we could get aggro enough for that. I just like hard removal, though. Ugh. It's just that this works all the time, and this works only on the play. Like, I think maybe I'll bring this... Maybe I'll do your split if we're nowhere on the play. And we're on the front foot. I just don't want to be on the back foot holding this in my hand when a squash would actually do something. I'm not trying to be aggro. Sometimes you can get an aggro draw, but really we're just a deck running good 2-drops, and then we see what happens. I'm gonna go with this and fill out our blingage. We've got Lotus Leaves from Mama. And Old Bordered Lands. Let's see, 1 plains. Well, actually, we don't need any plains. We just want that one anyway. So we'll figure out how many. But some number of mountains, some number of forests. And again, I don't even know if since we're not searching up swamps, we're not searching up basics. We don't even need swamps and forests, swamps and plains from a basic finding standpoint. That was complicated. What was it? Minus question mark booster? Don't want a plains. Don't want an island. We want... Obviously, we want this and this. Yeah, we could cut Skull Cairn. I like cutting it from the double splash. If we were going full, just straight Jund, I would still run this. But I think for a double splash, you're right. It's more disciplined to cut it. And then we can play 1 swamp. And then we have a snow-covered plains. And then we fill out the rest with mountain forests. Four, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green. This is an extra red though, so let's get an extra green. So still a little sketchy here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sources of red. That just feels wrong. This double splash is worrying me. Maybe I cut the plains for another mountain. We don't worry about searching up plains either. It just feels wrong to not have at least 7 sources here, or 8 even. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's 8. That makes me feel better about red, and then green having 1, 5, 6, 7. Or maybe I need to go to 8 green, 7 red. Given that Sentinel Sculptor could be matter. Yeah, Scald and what else are we playing? I mean, we could cut it for something else if you wanted to, but what and why? Yeah, Elder Hall is the better card for sure. And this I'm willing to do if we just get enough treasure. This is removal. I'm willing to play ETB tapped for the chance at removal and a couple of dudes, right? All right, I think this is good. Or at least about where I'm going to be. 5, 6, although I think I want to make that swap. Although we have all this red. I guess we want more red than green. So let's do this. I think I'm going to go... let's put... pick me up. Call it a pick me up. Because we need it after the rough draft we just had. Yeah, not playing black-red activation land because of the ETB tapped factor and the fact that it does need another black to work. And it ultimately, yeah, getting their hand could be, if you can get them, good, but it's telegraphed, so they can try to plan their hand around that. Whereas this is, I like the possibility of removal. The payoff is worth the ETB tapped risk. All right, I got that quote. Let me take a quick bio break, get a beverage. I have no beverage, and then I'll start a par poll before we get going. Here, I'll leave the deck up so you can think about it. And this is best of 3, right? So T-par, and I'll be right back. This deck is weird. I was thinking about it while I was away, and it's like it's got some aggro components, which... like Fantasia was talking about, like, are we trying to be aggro or what here? It's got some control components. It's got a bomb, maybe couple of bombs. But the splash is interesting because this really is a red-green deck. And then the pick and the seas and the handful of lands kind of get us to splashability for these very, very light splashes. Could even, the Scald could be cut for something like Run Amok, just to keep the splash down to totally only 2 things, and because this is only getting back Arnie, but that's powerful if you can do it. Yeah, and then Fenner makes that point. I was like, yeah, this is kind of aggro-ish, but it's kind of almost randomly, incidentally splashing, right? It's not, we're not bending over backwards to splash here. If we're being aggressive, we don't mind the picks. They're not amazing because they're just a little clunky, but we just end up with this incidental treasure or 2 that's going to allow us to drop a predator or this shield. So I don't know. I don't have a lot of hope. I don't think this was a very good draft. I think it was just a difficult seat. The packs weren't particularly good. The signals were strong in the second pack, but in a direction we couldn't really follow, and so we drafted the super hard way here, and this deck has some hope, but I'm not going to be too surprised if we don't trophy here. Yeah, we can really be thinking about how we need to sideboard against our various opponents here as well, because we do have such splash. We can really change the tenor of the deck through what and how we're splashing. So here we go, and I think this is keepable on the strength of just Sculptor of Winter and Goldvine pick, and also we're on the draw, so we get some extra shots at non-green land. Look, it's a non-green land. I'm gonna go for Elder Hall first, though. Oh, here. There we go. Thanks. Covering the cards a little bit. All right. Now we've got all of our colors. Well, I shouldn't say all. We've got 3 of our colors. If we added white late. But we're going to go ahead and drop the... Well, we got a snow mountain. We can actually drop the sculptor now, and we get to ramp. We can even potentially ramp to the predator. So let's ramp out a predator with the sculptor next turn if the sculptor lives. And then the predator lands, we have the sculptor to sack to save it if they try to kill the predator. They're playing black, though, so another thing that can happen is this gets picked off by the common removal spell, but we're going to make them have it. We could also double spell here, too, with the 2 cavalries, and then haste up a predator next turn. That's not the worst idea, either. They'll never see it coming, and maybe we get him to use some, well, Fenrir, right, like, Predator this turn versus Predator next turn with cavalries in play is basically the same thing, and it sets up Oppo to maybe use up removal on 2 drops, and it 2 spells, and etc., etc. So I think I've talked myself into that. You get the pick down. That's interesting, too. I'm in for the creatures, though. I like this. But remember, I mean, I think I am getting the predator down as quickly as possible because this turn versus this turn hasted is the same thing as last turn unhasted. We get 5 mana, but we can't really use it, so we're just going to predator haste. The planes and these cards suggest that we may be up against a deal 5, and in that case, we lose the sculptor. But we have we have everything we need to get all of our colors now. So we're going to attack all, knowing that our cavalry or our sculptor is likely to get picked off. But if when we do that, we'll just We'll send it to the predator. Although the predator doesn't even need to exile something to get the counter, right? It's so great. Like, it just gets bigger by attacking. It's such a card. They're going for that. We're going to choose cavalry, given the choice here. Then all of our damage gets through. Next turn we have land, Arnie, and play and equip pick, all without even having to tap our sculptor, so we'll see how this goes. All right. I wanted to soapbox about this, but maybe I'll just make a quick note here that, like, Bound in Gold, pacifism effects have been so up and down in the history of the game recently, especially. They used to be just always great. Now it's become more like, well, they're okay. You know, depends, right? A lot of depends when it comes to these pacifism style abilities now. And this one has been great because of its ability to handle the princes of the format. This is a very princely format, and Bound in Gold, while it does have all of those issues, manages the princes of this kingdom very well. So yeah, I'm just figuring out what we equip to. We could equip to the Raider and give it haste. We have nothing to boast with, so it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna go Raider because it's the place this is where we're likely to keep attacking. This might start hasting things up. This is likely to, this only wants to attack. This wants to give things haste, and this wants to untap lands. So I broke the tie by putting it on the thing that, whose whole job is to attack. Yeah, Tim Nose points out village rights, but my feeling is there's things in every set that punish leaving your creature on the battlefield, right? That's what I mean. You can rattle off the list of reasons that enchanting a permanent as your means to deal with it, there's a lot of reasons this goes horribly wrong. All of those reasons are still valid. But in other sets, there's not enough upside to make up for that. So suddenly this removal drops and drops and drops in estimation. And in this format, the upside of handling princes way makes up for the risks of aura-based removal. Yeah, Broken Wings seems appropriate for that very problem. And what is our least? We could cut one of the squashes over that. We could also cut a cavalry. Spoils, if we're gonna do the double splash, I like keeping the spoils. We got our mana that time, but no guarantees. Yeah, Elf Mentor is a reasonable thing. This is just kind of random. It's just a body. Although in that case, the body was our just body's good against whatever Oppo was trying to do. Looks like they were, I don't know, Mardu what? I'm going to keep both squashes in and the Broken Wings and just cut the random 4. I like that. Yeah, we don't know what they were doing, really. Although if they were truly aggro, they should have been able to operate with that mana. So maybe just Mardu control that didn't get enough mana to do their thing. Is Media here? I wanted to speak to... Yeah, Media's here. I chatted with Media on the side about this, but Media did an AMA yesterday about best of 3 versus best of 1, and the switch to play until you win or lose this many style best of 3 instead of the traditional style best of 3. And I didn't understand that change when I gave the AMA. It still had some good info in terms of, well, that's interesting. Don't have Predator yet, but I just want all of this. Can we be greedy enough to send back this mountain? Because if we get Meadow into Forest into Sculptor, yeah, I kind of like keep this. I mean, we could send away the Predator, but it's like our best card, and this helps us cast it. So I'm going to pitch one of the lands, and since we have a white splash here, it has to be the mountain. And maybe we draw a basic so that we can go turn 1 Forest, turn 2 Sculptor, and say wait on the Meadow. But I think this is reasonable. Yeah, I'm going to risk it. I'm going to go Sentinel here. If we can find a basic, great. If not, well, at least we have a play. Anyway, yeah, I'll just do a follow-up soapbox because I'm too distracted trying to play at pace here. So I'll do that. Hey, very nice. Thank you, Magic Gods. Could even generate a mana here, but it doesn't do anything, so we're going to crack in. We could play the God side of this next turn, but I don't think we want to do that. All right, they went for that. That settles it. Well, I still could play the God, but I still don't think we want to do that. I think we just send in here. Really? You play the god over nothing, but we get the shield next turn. I'm gonna be greedy enough for the shield.
Point is, ladies and gentlemen, that greed,
yeah, our predator
is good.
So we got lots to consider. We can just predator, or we can shield. Shield, we just play, and we can even attack, though. I'm just going to play the shield and try this card. I'm excited. I never even played it before. Still a 1-for-1. That's all right. Looks like they are trying to be kind of aggro. Looks like everybody's being a little greedy with their aggro decks even. Here, probably just want the red side. Double up our red rather than more black. We don't. This is literally our only black spell, so we've got that covered. We can... Yeah, I'm kind of with you. Mentor ahead of Predator, but also maybe want to leave land in hand this turn so we don't get Skull raided. We don't lose our Predator to a Skull raid. They're going in. What are they getting? Probably that... Look at that. I think that's the first time I've seen that land cracked. Truly. Good value for Oppo. Given that, maybe I play this land. I don't think they're going to go for a Skull Raid next turn with that draw. Oh, there's no reason to risk it, though. If they decide to Skull Raid me, I'll feel so loose. We saw it cracked here before? Well, there's my memory for you. Clearly wasn't that good because I didn't even remember it. Struggle for Skemfar. Nice. Just like Predator and land, though. I can continue holding the land, actually, to why not? If I wanted to play around it last time, I can play around it this time. The question is, if we played the land and drew another land, would we be sad that we sandbagged a land? And the answer is no, because if another land off the top doesn't allow us to 2-spell, so I'm going to hold and protect against... oh, yeah, I shouldn't have ran that out. Sorry. We knew that. That was just a little distraction play there. I think although it's tough to know because... At some point, you got to play something, but we probably could have gotten him to bind the the mentor if I just waited. We could have maybe played the land, or just foretold the struggle would have been good. It does force their hand, so we do pull that piece of removal at least. So, yeah, no reason to sack anything here. Oh, you wanted to do that? Yeah, that's a... Can't we just... I just like double blocking it. I'll just trade for it here. They can't even kill all this. Scald would get back this if they kill it. We don't have any of our sweet yard plan, though. I like just pathway, hold up squash. That's true. Shield is a creature when dead. I was thinking I'd be able to get it back, but you're right. I wouldn't be able to. Yeah, 4/4s are fine. Am I being greedy? I guess on this board I'm being greedy because we can play it out, and then when they suit up this to make it a 4/3, we can struggle to make a 5/5 that gets through just about anything. So you're right. Especially knowing that I can't even get the shield back with it. If it were a way to get the shield back, then I think there's a better justification for holding the Scald, but not here. You would swing and trade this for their... Yeah. I feel like we don't need to trade that off. Well, we're making them use their removal. It's defined in the rules because of the nature of double-faced cards, Darkstar. There is a front face and a back face, and the front face is always what is face up in the graveyard. So now we could make that block. Sure, I guess if they're offering, we'll take this trade. You say take one? I don't know. I like getting that creature dead, and then we're gonna unlock one of these. We'll find our... But now we just take 0, right? I don't know. Like what? Like why not? I don't know. When an opponent offers me a real card for a random token, I'm inclined to say yes. Like that's my heuristic, and I'm looking for reasons not to. And I guess the reason not to is you feel like we can just fade the damage. But I don't know. I liked that. Yeah, we can totally struggle with our bind targets, although, of course, then the counter gets put on a locked creature, which is not ideal, but you got to do what you got to do sometimes. So they're going to go get some more equipment or whatever, but now we can struggle that with the cavalry and it works. So I'm just going to do that. Yeah, we can survive the fight. Normally this would be a trade, but the shield allows us to fight. So I am seeing the value of the shield, by the way. Remember, I was a little like, is it that good? Like, what if they have big stuff? Does it matter if they have big stuff? And we're seeing some of the little value that I wasn't considering when assessing this card. And being able to win these fights in a green deck is something... And we have squash up, so that's cool. And here's where, like, this is why I wanted both squashes and not a run amok. I mean, there's going to be spots where I wish I had the run amok and not a stupid 5-mana squash, but just the general usefulness of the squash makes me quite happy with it. And the instant speed here means we can wait and see if they want a double block to try and take out the cavalry. Because a single block doesn't, with either of those, doesn't beat the cavalry. Okay, now they're going to do that. And now they have a single block in the cavalry that works. So maybe I should just squash the shield mate here. Or maybe we just understand that the shield mate is the worst creature and we should still just get the shepherd. It's probably still just get the shepherd. Yeah. Shepherd is just the better creature. And there's not real, like, there's the window to try and blow them out, but we really didn't have that window. And this is interesting. Again, it requires that second black that we don't have yet, but we have treasure making and stuff here. Although that's something for me to consider. put this on the red side, figuring we were more likely to need to 2-spell red than double black. But here, actually, if I put the black side up, we'd be able to use this. Yeah, sorry, I didn't see it at the time, Fenor. I was thinking we only had the one black, right? I was thinking in terms of Predator is our only black card, right? But it's not our only black need. So I'll remember that for the future games. And now we're on the question of whether we are offering the cavalry here or holding back. We are ahead on life, and they have a hard time racing. I'm just going to save. I'm going to play this Elder Hall and pass. Yeah, they have Menace, but if they want to send at us, let's race, right? I would... Oh, they actually had the god. Yikes. I've actually run this with the god. I had it in a sealed that I did over last weekend. Well, now it's all slipping away. Well, now we win by milling. Now they're gonna deck off of Furia. The Furia self-mill is real. What would you have done, Phrasing Boom? If you were Oppo? So that plan I had to race, remember that? I had a racing plan. It was so good. We were totally gonna race. That was the plan. Now we need like 3 broken wings to draw into our hands all at once and add mana to our pool somehow. That does not qualify, and let's move on. That wasn't super winnable. Veil. You think Veil does work for us here? What are they going after our stuff with, really? Verdict? Bound? Yeah. I don't like reacting to that, but I suppose... like, if we had a Veil over a Squash, that might have been good this game. Maybe even over the Scald. Although we need our bodies, too. So, what do you like for the Veil? Squash seems easy to say, but we're going to want to kill this Judge of Valor on site. We got some things to kill on site here. Well, you say not doing much, it's like, I don't know, kills a god, although they're going to play the sword most of the time. Yeah, we can cut the Scald and it reduces our color pressure. That's fine. We kind of want to be a little bit aggressive if we can find an aggressive start, because their long game looks a little better than ours. If only there were something that communicated what format this was. Although it's fair to point out that I am often not displaying the right format. Well, this is not the aggro start I was asking for. Can we keep this? Hey, Harmonize, welcome. Lindworm. Ah, we're on the play. We can't cast this. This does nothing. This is way, 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 way. East likes keep. What are we doing? Hey, I'm with War Furnace. What is our plan if we keep this? Ugh, we had a mulligan. And then, of course, we got a mulligan again. Oh, Magic. We love you anyway. I'm asking for one thing, but if I don't get it, it's literal disaster. It's just absolute disaster. It's one thing to only ask for one thing. It's another thing to desperately need it, or what are you even doing? We're going to mulligan this too, though. All right, all right. Get rid of a squash and a pick, and we can actually make some work of this. Can make an argument for keeping both picks, but I think we need to keep the two creatures. Yeah, that's about as good as we could hope for on a double mole, I think. East keeps both picks. That's fair. I wanted two creatures. Like, maybe he wants to get rid of the cavalry and just move in on picked up pups. Other dwarves get +1/+0. Whenever a dwarf you control becomes tapped, create a treasure token. So it just taps, it attacks and makes treasure. And then sack 5 treasures, search your library for an artifact or dragon card. Okay, so more decent searching up as well. Well, I like picking the cavalry and sending both. You like hold pup, you just want to threaten this on the attack? Yeah, that's fair. I guess the pup's 1 damage is not as good as telling the outlaw to stay back, huh? All right, deck. Top deck us some action, and we can maybe find a way in this one. Mold a 5 here. Oh, that's not what we need, though, deck. Definitely not what we need. Well, we're going to trade Ramp and Treasure, I guess. It just feels better for Oppo than for us. But I can't stay back to block here. That just doesn't make sense to me. Oh, deck.
Oh, here comes the flood.
Ugh, that's like real bad, gang. I'll play a forest, I guess. We can offer the trade. I guess we have to offer the trade even. I mean, this is so bad. What is our out? Let's not be lamentful. Let's look at what our outs actually are. We could find ourselves... Lindworm would at least be a big body to control the board here. Shield would do something, but I want... This thing's only going to get bigger and bigger. Like, we need something to kill this. like struggle. Unfortunately, we lose our creature that way. Yeah, that might just be the end here. This too much pressure. Oh, look. I'm not sold on this card. It looks like garbage to me. We're running it because of the nature of this deck, but here's one of the reasons it looks like garbage to me is how bad it is in this type of spot. So, I won't scoop it, since I guess we have another squash we could find to take out the braggart next turn. But, like, we lose our cavalry here. This is just bad. Oh, bad, bad, bad. Oh, wait, I can do this. And then this. Except then we just lose because of this. Yeah, we're just dead. Never mind. I have to attack or I have to tap to avoid attacking, and then the crackback gets us, so... All right, let's see. Wait. Yeah, I shouldn't have given the... Yeah, it didn't matter. No matter what, we were pretty in trouble there, so... Yeah, I could have given haste to the pup. That's what I should have done. Then we could have stayed back to block. Yeah, I could have lived for one more turn by giving haste to the pup instead of the 1/2, because that made us have to attack with the 1/2. Whereas we could have given haste to the thing. Yeah, it was over. We could have bought one more turn, though. Like to try and get one more turn. But as far as silver linings go, it's actually a nice segue into the soapbox I wanted to do to follow up on Media's question or AMA from yesterday, where I only answered it partly because I misunderstood where Media was coming from. So I'm going to move to the thing that is the point of discussion. Hey all, so yesterday I answered an AMA from Media who was asking about the trend toward, instead of a fixed number of matches per event, you don't know how many matches you're going to play or how many games you're going to play because you're playing until you win or lose to a certain point. I explained the thing that I did say that was useful was giving the analogy of baseball versus clock-based sports to at least explain what the appeal is to some people for the play until you win or lose, because it's that feeling that no matter how far in the hole I am, if I'm still playing, I can max win. And that's a powerful feeling for the player. And I talked about that, but what the thing I got wrong is that Media was like, I said, but Media, they have that, just go do that. But Media's point was that with this new traditional sealed, they have introduced something new. This was what, and I wasn't even aware of this yesterday because I went 1 and 2 and exited after 3 rounds. I thought we were just in a normal sealed yesterday. I thought it was best of 3 sealed with the usual 1, 2, 3 matches and then you're done. But Media's like, why are they doing this? Why switch from that to this? And I gave some reasons why some players might like it better, but I wanted to follow up today with some other thoughts on why designers would like it better, because it does explain some stuff. It doesn't. It's never going to explain away. You know, if Media likes fixed match structures better, that's just the way it is. But one of the reasons this is nice for design is for some of the reasons we've been complaining about that fixed match structure. So let's first look here. So we got. You play until you lose twice or win 4 times, and it's still best of 3. So what does this do for us? The first and foremost, it lets the designer stretch out the pay scale on this. One of the problems people had with the best of 3 as it was that you would play and if you lost once, you could no longer be profitable even, because you would now have a maximum return of 1,000 gems, and that just was feel bad for people. Very steep. 3-0 would get you double your buy-in, but then 2-1, even 2-1 doesn't make up your buy-in. And what people don't understand, what's hard for non-designers to see, though. Let me switch to the and I'm going to get out of your way a little bit too, so you can see what I'm talking about. In a traditional, in a normal, this is what we've had. This is what they changed from. In this case, a couple things going on here. First, we're one match in, and I already don't get the possibility of max win. I have no way of max winning now, and that's kind of sad. The other thing that happens with this structure is that if I go 0-2, there is no incentive for me to play the third match. There's no prize for it. Now they could fix that by putting some prize support here. So that's not necessarily a function of this structure specifically, but it is, again, designers just get more flexibility. And the reason designers get more flexibility is, and the thing that people who aren't game designers might not see about these structures, is that while you can, to the average viewer, it looks like, or the average observer, all right, there's a 3,000, there's a 1,000, and there's a couple of zeros, right? What people miss are the multipliers over these. In every event, in every draft, 1 in 8 players is going to earn the 3,000 reward, but 3 in 8 players are going to win the 1,000 reward. So one of the issues with this event is how much is you got to multiply the 2 win column by 3. And it can be tough to make appealing prizes when this second place slot has to be paid out 3 times. Because when you're trying to add it up against the buy-in, right? Because you got 8 players putting in 1,500 gems, and so you use those 1,500 gems. You keep some for yourself as the company for profit, and you give the rest out as prize support. This lack of fidelity here makes it very tough to craft prize support that looks appealing and feels good, because you only have a maximum of 3 wins to do it. But when you go back here, so I was saying, remember, in the structure where we've been used to, 1 in 8 players get to 3-0, right? Now let's look at this new one. Here we are at 3 wins. Well, at 4 wins, you're beyond 1 in 8 now. You're even past, it's fewer than 1 in 8 are going to get to 4 wins. And the cool thing about this structure is that you could make this go as high as you want. You could post a prize for what happens if you get to 25 wins, right? Wizards could do something cool like, all right, at 25 wins, you get a complete foil set of the latest set. You get a complete foil 4X of Kaldheim. How about that? Something like that, right? Like you could have these absurd prizes because it's really unattainable. I mean, another interesting side approach you could take with an event like this is basically have it infinite. Just let people go. Luis, you've got the best deck you've ever drafted. How many times can you win with it? It's more of a thought exercise because I don't think they don't want to incentivize players sticking to one event for that long. But the point is, the more flexibility you have to endlessly create higher win targets, the more you can stretch out where the gems in your prize pool are being distributed. And you can make absurdly appealing looking top prizes, because the more wins you take to get your top prize, the more appealing you can make that prize, because it becomes less and less often that it is even awarded, right? Yeah, so you could do a gladiator event, and that would be a way to do it too. But really, I just wanted to follow up on Media's AMA because I missed the whole thing that they've transitioned to this. But I think the main things are that, like, the 3 factors in why they would move towards this are, first and foremost, that the data shows that people like it more. That it's just more sticky, that people are playing these types of events more than the other kind. It eliminates the lack of incentive to O2 drop. Like the other structure doesn't make any sense for anybody who's O2'd. Because, like, what am I playing for? I've got no prize on the line anymore. And then the flexibility for the designer, the flexibility to create a more appealing looking pay scale by having a lot more options across the spectrum of win counts. So, little follow up there, and now we'll get back to your regularly scheduled event. Yeah, we did harmonize. You can check I haven't put it on YouTube yet, but in the VODs, there's a I specifically chopped out that segment. Yeah, the largest rate goes back to that first point of Wizards thinks that this is just going to create more business, right? Well, Chimero says, and that, actually it also does tie to my that AMA yesterday that about the Doomblade, because I was talking about, like, effectively Doomblade is an artifact of marrying your early design philosophies and failing to change, failing to adapt, failing to use the tools at your disposal to make something new, and instead just marrying the past. And I think this structure that we're in is somewhat a marrying of paper draft. Like if the nature of drafts at a store is that you have 8 players and you need to figure out how to pair them up so that everybody has fun. And the logistics of making sure that everybody in an 8-player draft has fun leads to this structure. It leads to 3 rounds. It leads to figuring out somebody who's 3-0, etc. Right? But we are not in that world. We are in this not playing in pod, digital, available all the time stuff. And so you should embrace those tools and not just marry this very tabletop draft structure.
Here comes the
Buckeye, there's literally, I made a separate video. If you just go to my videos and look at highlights, it's right there in the title. So yeah, if this had been a new style sealed, we would be playing knowing that, hey, we could still, if we just don't lose, if we just win out from here, we could still get maximum prize. It's a little sad knowing that we just are not going to be able to get max prize here. Finally get a decent keep, though. We get Sentinel on 1 and Raider on 2 to actually see if this Sentinel can do something. Ooh, we get Pup on 1. Let's see, maybe we can do Sentinel on 1, then Pup on 2, and Sentinel Pup tap for mana to create Raider also on 2. That sounds good. All right, well, this seems like best case scenario for the Sentinel, so let's see it do some work. That's true. It hasn't fixed yet, but doesn't feel like it gets too much better than this. Now, what do we want to cast here? We could just play the pick and Raider next turn if we don't find land. Hey, D, 2 years. Happy sub-anniversary for Dionysus. 2 years I've been putting up with D. Yeah, let's go with pick. I like it on the threatening to go on the pup, right? And also, if you can buy time before having to choose a discard for your Raider, that's best, because then you can make better decisions. And now we have a total of 4 if we want it. We can also hook up like the pup and send in, get 1. Let's see, we're going to play this land. We could hook up the pup, send in, get 1, then we'd have 3. We could play Raider and, well, we could also just hook up the Sentinel and then slay this troll. I did. We have so much extra juice. We buy bling around here sometimes. All right. Let's try. I'm going to try the pick on the Sentinel, because if this works, fine. If the open mana produces a bad result here, we'll see. Long pause, so maybe we should wait here. Look at this pause. So, yeah, it might just be run amok. Because the pause started in combat, right? I feel like it didn't pause before combat. So I'm going to risk it. Biscuit risked. Well, because it gets, I mean, it puts 2+1/+1 counters on up to one target creature you control and adds mana. Like, Chapter 2 is sweet for this board. What's going on? Oh, game is lagging. I just did not know what was going on here. Weird. Serious lag. So they had the Frostbite last time and didn't use it? Interesting. Yeah, I suppose they could have just drawn it. Yeah. Shall we just make our shield? He'd mentor. Jinx wanted the mentor. I just was like, shield, but that's fair. Well, they're showing removal. This prevents it. Maybe I'm just being too rare focused. Shield like double taxes their removal. And yeah, we'll mentor here. Welp. If I moved the pick, wouldn't it have died? Didn't we trade? Oh, maybe we didn't get blocked there. Yeah, that's a good point. I can, but we need to get him to block first, right? Yeah, we swing the 3-2. I think they just take this, but that's fine too, right? No matter what they do, we're happy. We do have squash up. Sentinel plus elf plus treasure plus 3. Good call, Jinx. It's gonna work. I guess I'll raid away this forest before I hastily play that land. Let's use 2 forests. Oh wait, I can't use 2 forests given the rules of Magic, but we'll use a... We'll pitch the forest and see what we find. All right. Mountain Recluse is going to be fine here. I like swing away with... Well, we could move the... I guess we could move the pick, but then I can't cast... Well, we probably can because the warrior is going to make it in for damage, right? We could also just put it on the Mentor, and then the Mentor can't be killed by the Berserker. I like that. Then they probably don't block the Berserker. Or the Mentor. And if they do, that's fine. And it looks like we can play the Recluse anyway because of the Sentinel tapping. So we'll just send in the 4-3. Sure, you have Berserker meme.
Come on, Berserker. Girls think sexy.
My love for you is like a truck berserker.
Cardur. You better pick the right thing. All right. Whoops. Why didn't that work though? Didn't they target the Recluse? Or did they target the Mentor? Oh, it got countered. Is it effects too? Spell or ability. Wow, what a brutal card. Double taxed. Why is the Snakeskin Veil on fire? Check that out. Is it like saying, sideboard me in? Put me in, coach, I'm on fire? Or is it just, it's that it's got a special... What should be, Haj? I don't know. I didn't catch your first one, Haj. I just caught, because it should be in your deck over the 1-2 reach. Oh, I see. You were following up my thought. Well, should it be, though? You saw what it did there, Haj. The things that the 1-2 reach did that game are not things this Veil can do. But last game was this doing its very, very best. And as long as we're double splashing, I like it. Black, red, hardcore beats. I'm familiar with this deck. It's been a long time since we've ended up here, but we sure know this deck well. I acknowledged openly that it was the best that it's ever done, but that this is the deck for it. Don't call me Roddy. I'll time people out who call me Roddy when I specifically give my reasons. Broken Wings is okay. Oh, you're talking to chat. Sure. Whatever. I'm sending it back. Out of time anyway. Talking too much. Appa goes first. We have some slaying, but not really beef to do it with. We have cavalry for sure, but then it's a lot of question marks. Fenner likes this as a keep. On the draw, it's close. On the play, this I would think I would throw this back. Yeah, we don't have to fight, I get it. But we don't even have the green, is what I'm saying. Like, don't like this hand. I'm going to mulligan it. I like this hand better. I'm going to keep it. Ish. It's better-ish. I'm going to play Pathway on red for the pup unless we find a natural mountain. Natural mountain, all right. The land can stop for a bit, though. I'd be fine with some action, not land. Yeah, wings for Predator is like, maybe wings because it has lots of targets, but not because of Predator specifically. Cavalry is a really nice pickup here. It allows us to do something else besides play a pick that we can't equip yet. Let's see if they want to shock this thing. Go ahead, shock it. You know you want to, Oppo. Breakneck Berserker doesn't want to crash in. That's probably good for us. And I'm going to play a black source now. We do want multiples, and we have doubles of each of our starting anyway. Not going to offer this trade. We've got a Hulk that can attack next turn, but we'll at least equip and be a little tougher to kill. Frostbite number 2 can't take out the cavalry now, at least. We can even consider just blocking, especially with this. Like, that's a big smack they're coming in with, but we do get to crack back. The race doesn't look amazing. The thing is, if we block and then play the Hulk's not blocking. So, do you like blocking here or not? We also have the chance of just drawing something else to help. We can just play the Hulk and not attack, and then have double blocks on the follow-up that work even if they equip the helm. Then we trade Hulk and Cavalry for Berserker, and it's their 2 cards to our whatever we draw. That's not great, but I think blocking sets us up for no options next turn, right? I think that's what 33 is getting at here. So I'm going to take it, even though it's harsh, but it does give us real blocks next turn if we don't draw anything else. Yeah, land, definitely not what we're looking for here, but it does mean that we were smart to make the play we did. We are at their mercy now, though. A very likely thing that happens here is that our cavalry gets removed, the helm gets equipped, and then we get our life total halved.
Oh, here comes the flood.
Any reason? I guess it puts more fear into them. That's one reason to do it. I don't have a great reason, though. I do use untapped.gg, not in a way that I present to you all, but like if you look at my left monitor right now, for example, there's untapped GG up and open. It's just not for you to see. Oops.
Oh.
Why block that way? Oh, because this was a 4/4? This just chumps if I block that other way? Did I get that wrong? Oh, it was a 4/3. Sorry, I was thinking 4/4. Yeah, no, that's a bad block. Bailed out with a draw here. But in my head, that was a 4-4, that's all. That's why I blocked that way. Here we have to... Well, no matter what, we're blocking with the Mentor, so I actually feel like I might as well put it here, although putting it here means the Mentor can't get killed by the shock, so I'll put it here. No, that was me miss. A miss of me. Of course, it ultimately didn't matter because Oppo had a pump spell that was going to win the day against the 4-4 anyway, but yeah, it was a mistake there. Let's discard a card, so I might as well dump our hand. All right. Obviously, they are looking to bring back a Cinderheart Giant with a +1/+1 counter on it. An 8/7 is indeed going to be tough, but maybe with Struggle we can do something. Has it got haste? Haste. Oh yeah, so it's 8, but we're not dead. Oh, if they equip the helmet is? Yeah, I guess we're just dead. Oops. Let me make sure they see it. I didn't. Maybe they won't. All right, we'll get him on the game 3. Do we learn anything new here? There are a lot of reasonable things to hit with the Broken Wings besides tough to kill dragons, so we can bring in the Broken Wings. I'm okay with that. Maybe again over the Scald here. We also have enough fixing that you could make an argument for the feed, especially given the dragon. You like a feed over a squash and know that we're a little bit late gamer to play this, but so is squash, frankly. And they do have a dragon that this answers, so I like bringing that in despite the toughness to the mana. Hey, Confucius, welcome. Come on, deck, get there. Well, gotta keep this. I'll go Forest Sculptor if we don't draw an obvious land to play. Once bitten. Dusk Wielder. All right, well, we're gonna make a red so we can do this. If they just play an 0-1, we can totally slay it. Pup is very late. Feed was already a blank. I can't I mean, what was your suggestion, GYZ? He says that blank, like, I assume it doesn't blanket. You mean like we can never play it? We have all these treasure makers that help us play a double black spell. And I'm never going to play to the card lurking somewhere in my deck versus the card right in front of me that I can get on board right now. This is up to, so we're going to play it. We need this pup to survive and carry a couple counters. I guess I go to attack first if I'm not blocking. Could have gotten in free point. Thank you, Chess Peak. Appreciate the sub. This one's starting to slip away too. We may face the very thing I was saying is the problem with this structure. Which is that one of the problems with this structure that we're in now is that if we lose this match, we have no reward incentive to play the third match out. All right, well, that's a decent defender, and we get 6 total mana for the Lindworm. So hopefully we've turned a corner here at least. Get some more life back if the Lindworm lives. Squashed like a worm. Well, we're gonna squash back. And the question to me is whether we squash back now or whether we go ahead and raid first. I like raid. Looks like the pup is still doing its job, and we can even think about... Well, we'll take another 4. I want to dig for action. That's action-y, and it does make the squash cheaper. We just don't have the double red now, because I pitched the mountain. Worried about this card. Also worried about that. They probably double discard now, and that is super painful. Ow. Yeah, this is going to suck. Almost as much as starting 0-2 on the day. I'm going to keep chipper, though. No need to be salty. No, I don't think pitching the mountain was a punt. Rob, why would it be a punt? Explain to me why. You're just looking because it's not going well here, or like... Well, you got to keep that... Include a wink. Believe me, your takes are hot enough for that not to be a joke. Losing these 2 cards, also not a joke. Oh, it's only 1 card, so do we need a giant or a squash? I guess we need a squash. We need to kill their giant more than we need our own. Raider can actually make some action with the pup, but we're going to squash the Craven Hulk while shields are mostly down over there. You like hold squash, I like get rid of it. I'm not going to let them untap. Or I guess with black-red, there's not much they can do to save, but there is, I mean, they got the +2/+0 return to battlefield, that kind of thing. All right, that's real. Again, continue to be worried about their hand, though. I'm going to go Raider, and then I'm going to foretell the struggle. I'd like a little more clarity about what's going on with their hand. I feel like they've got removal, and I don't want to fire off the struggle until I know what's up with that. Gonna have to start attacking sometime, though, here. Gotta actually win this game. All right. That's kind of like part of the reason I want, like, the other tricks in here, although we're almost, like, we can actually threaten to kill it. So I like pick on pup and attack. Although we don't have that, we don't have enough for the threat, right? Because we have 5 total, 3, and then pup activate. We can do it for next time, though. It sets it up. Yeah, we can fight and get another counter on it. That's not the worst either. Fire off the struggle while they're tapped out. A lot comes down to whether or not I think this pup lives, but we'll see. The trample on that giant is rough. Don't have a lot of love for this card. It's like any 7-drop. Feels really powerful when it lands and does stuff, but 7 mana, yikes. So now what? Can we win in one shot? Can we... What are we looking to do here? We can get... Feed doesn't do it, because we're never gonna have 2 black. Just trying to figure out what our plan is. Broken Wings, no. Predator, this is real bad, gang. I don't think we really have the tools here to manage a 7/6 that's going to take out one of our creatures when it dies. This is just too much. We don't even have a thing to really put a counter on this. Yeah, so I guess we just have to do this now, right? It's the only way. This is the way. This could be a blowout, but we can't beat a blowout. So we're going to hope they don't have a blowout and hope that we just get lightly blown out instead of mega blown out. Come on, light blowout. I don't think we're running wings, though. That's the thing. We went with 2 picks over the wings. Yes! Woo! Only a 3-for-1 instead of the dreaded 3-for-0. Or it was a 3-for-1 for the Cinderheart Giant instead of a 3-for-1 for some card in their hand is the way to put it. Well, we can play the shield and not be dead really quickly, but we can also just play a 2/3 Flying Vigilance and pick it up. Oh, no white, Durr. Never mind, thanks, gang. Shut up. I see a spell, I want to cast it. You can't blame me. Chat's always teasing me. Yep. Well, gang, sometimes this is what happens. I didn't really think about playing that land. Maybe there's more. Do we have more looting? I think we only have the 1 looter. We have the seas, so I guess if we draw seas, I'll regret that land play. I should hold land for the seas. I don't think it's going to matter, though. Like, we need... Season's going to get it done anyway. We need something for this Predator. But the thing is, we don't have anything for the Predator. I mean, which is the problem here. We just don't. All right. That's how it's going to go, gang. That's how it's going to go. Some punts here and there. Overall, we had a very tough draft that produced a very medium deck with a couple of high spots. And sure, when the dragon of ours showed up, we won. But in this case, we never saw our dragon, and Oppo found it twice, and we lost. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that draft, Fenor. Maybe by the end of the format, if we look back at that draft, we'll see the path we should have taken. But what a tough draft. And I'm going to resign. I don't like playing when there's nothing to play for, and we're going to do a sealed deck anyway, a little sealed test. So we're going to do that. If you're going to complain about that, I'll just time you out. There you go. D wants to complain about punting. I'll punt him to the timeout corner. I like having the punt counter off. I don't mind talking about my mistakes. I don't need a punt counter. And if D does, well, D's got some growing to do too, I guess. Don't we all? Yes. And what better way to celebrate Dionysus' 2-year subiversary than timing him out? I mean, it's only right. David brings up one option you can do, but I don't like this one. David says, I don't mind playing match 3 and conceding to put more wins into the system. If you could guarantee me that I was matched up against somebody who wanted the win and not the match, I would do that. But I don't want to take away the fun of gameplay for people who are in it for the gameplay, so I'm just going to resign. And then I'm going to claim this prize. And say a boo to the who on that one, YouTube friends. An 0-2. Ugh. I'm going to not get any prizes in the traditional. At least let me make it to a 1 and 2, right? Ah, well. It's going to go that way sometimes. Tough draft and then tough games. So we did our best, and that was the result. See ya, YouTube friends.